Hey guys, Joe Smith here. Joe Smith with a couple more campaign promises or ideas, suggestions, whatever. If Joe Smith were to run for president, or if Joe Smith were to become president, what Joe Smith would do. Item number 3 on the list takes gun mufflers off the NFA list. Make them just as easy to purchase, where you purchase them off Amazon or any gun shop or that, just like you can in Europe. And I go, but this one bad guy used one earlier this year in a mass shooting where he worked, where he worked for the government. True, but there's also been 2,000 people stabbed with knives this year. They're not calling for a ban on knives. So the fact that one criminal used one time in 20 years or 30 years, there's just no reason to have a ban on it. And apparently the government didn't think he was that much of a criminal. Wasn't he like government employee? And plus he went through the 1-year wait list and the FBI background check and passed all that and did all the paperwork for the ATF and FBI or whoever all does all that. So ATF or FBI or both, apparently they thought he was a good guy and not any problems, but there's no reason to ban them. Joe Smith would issue like an executive order to take them off the NFA list and allow people have them as long as they're permitted to own a firearm. Maybe have it if they become a felon. Then of course they lose their firearm rights, but then they lose their gun muffler rights too. But campaign promise number 4. Taxes. Joe Smith kind of been seeing people around here to where they don't want to make too much money, so they don't have to get in a higher tax bracket and pay more taxes. Well, it's Joe Smith kind of confused on how all this works. Joe Smith just has this guy do his taxes, but from what Joe Smith understands, you make up to so much and you pay this percent, and then you make so much to so much more, and then you pay a higher percent, but you just pay that higher percent on that additional. And a lot of people think that you pay on everything, so they're trying to stay in the lowest tax bracket, thinking they're going to pay this higher percent on everything that they made, and they get confused, and so they think that, well, I make $36,000 or $37,000 a year, and I pay this percent. But if I make $38,000, then I'm going to have to pay this percent on everything, and that's going to cost me $5,000 more. So then I now got to work and make $45,000 just to break even or something. And it's like, no, you just pay that higher percent on that extra, and then you got a tax credit or self-employed business expense deductions, like your tools or your truck or something, like Joe Smith has. And you take that off first, and then that will put you down into the lower bracket or whatever. But you kind of make it more simple. And also the lower income people need to have like a minimum that they pay, or that just to, so they actually get out and do something instead of just stay at home living off welfare just so they don't have to pay taxes. Make them pay their fair share too. Have them pay like $1,000 minimum or something or other for the year. And then have it be where instead of after $38,000, instead of paying an additional percent on the extra income, have it be where you pay lower percent on the additional. And then after you get to the next line, where you pay an even lower percent on that additional income. Give people reason or excuse to go out and make more money, or maybe have it where they pay that lower percent on everything. You make more than what is like 15-20% something or other. If you have it be where if you make more than 38 or 40, wherever the line's at, then have it be where your overall tax bill drops a percent. If you make more than 45, have it drop another percent, or something, or every 10,000. So if you do 40, more than 40, then drops a percent for all of it. Do more than 50, it drops another percent for all of it. So, yeah, I'm sure, yeah, Joe Smith knows the rich people, the hardworking people would like this idea, to where the more they make, the lower percent they pay, but at the same time, they're still paying more taxes overall, because they're paying 10% on $500,000, where other people are paying 20% on 20,000 or something, or have it where they pay so much for up to 30,000, and after that it steps off or something for everyone. But some sort of incentive to get people to want to make more money, want to do more, instead of being lazy butts. It's like people feel like, well, if they work and make more money, they're just going to get punished or higher taxes. So why bother? Have it where there's actually some sort of reward for making more money, where that additional money you pay a lower tax rate on. You pay either 15 or 20% on the first 40,000, but then after that you pay 12% on the next 20, and then you pay 11 on the next 20, and you pay 10 on the next 20 or something. And the national unemployment system is just, people are just scamming this left and right. People are just getting hired at a job that they don't even care to be at, and they have no intention of staying there, and from day one they're just trying to goof off and get fired just so they can get back on unemployment. And then they can get a paycheck to sit home and do drugs and plan their mass shootings. Joe Smith says, do away with all that. Do away with federal unemployment system. And the money that businesses, especially small businesses, save on it, they can pay their employees $1 an hour more, and then tell the employees that extra $1 an hour or whatever, put in savings, or put a percent of your income in savings every year. And that way, if something happens where you do lose your job, or a company goes out of business or whatever, you got savings to take care of yourself. Teach people to take care of themselves. It's not businesses and government's responsibility to babysit people and take care of them. That's not what America was founded on. America was founded on people taking care of them dang self. That's why America was our founding fathers, why they had farms and fields and guns and did hunting and stuff like that. They took care of themselves. This isn't a freaking nanny state. And then also kind of along the same lines, any kind of massive welfare reform and disability and food stamps and all that. Joe Smith would probably propose to end the food stamp program. Joe Smith tell him, well, you hungry? There's plenty of yards that need cut. Go work for a lawn mowing company. They're all hiring. Don't like it? Too bad. Go join the military, or go to school and get a degree and get a job or something. But definitely, Joe Smith definitely imposed drug tests or that, like every week or every 2 weeks or something like that, for anyone getting any kind of government benefits for that, or at least once a month, something. Yeah, I mean, there's people out there that really are disabled, really can't work, but what sucks is that 80% of the people getting a disability income don't really need it, or shouldn't really be getting it, and then the people that actually do need it aren't getting enough, or at least half anyways. Maybe half are actually really deserve it and the other half don't, but it's like 18 or 19% of Americans are on disability. So that's dang near 1 in 5. So next time you're out at a restaurant eating, look around. See if you can figure out the 1 in 5 that are disabled. If you see a table of like 5, 6, 8 people or something, try and guess which one is disabled and on disability. Next time you go shopping at the grocery store or Walmart, 1 in 5 of those people are on disability. See if you can figure out which ones. Next time you go to a concert or sporting event, 1 in 5 are on disability. See if you can figure out which ones. And that's all these disabled people are, just stay at home all the time. And it's the other 4 out of 5 that you see at the stores and restaurants. But just saying, 1 in 5 Americans are on disability. So whenever you go somewhere, see if you can figure out which 1 out of 5 is on disability. But yeah, Joe Smith thinks that legalizing the marijuana is probably not the right way to do. Let's do that, then they're going to want to legalize others, cocaine and heroin or whatever. Joe Smith used to have friends that like to do the marijuana. Nice people, good friends. Joe Smith liked them. Joe Smith misses them, but I misses hanging out with them. But boy, were they dumb. And unmotivated and kind of lazy and just didn't want to do nothing. So don't say it's harmless or whatever. Joe Smith's seen people or worked with people that have done it for 20 years and they don't even know how to tie their shoes anymore. But that's just some of Joe Smith's thoughts on what he knows about politics and stuff like that. So if Joe Smith were to be president, that's some of Joe Smith's ideas on changes to make, whether they're popular or not. But Joe Smith's pretty sure that no matter how many people hate the idea, it'll be for the overall good. Oh, and one other thing, do away with the minimum wage too. There's other countries like everyone's always, what was it, Norway or Sweden or whatever. The Democrats, AOC and Bernie are always talking about, well, U.S. needs to be like them. They're a socialist country. Well, actually, no, they're not a socialist country, and they don't have a minimum wage either. But yes, they're quite well off economically. China has been growing tremendously without a minimum wage. And sewer companies in China are having to offer higher pay and more benefits now just to get the skilled people that are available, or to get people to leave one company, come work for another company. Oh, the minimum wage is just basically pricing people out of a job and creating a homeless problem. Look how many homeless people we have now all of a sudden over the past 10 years. Where's the majority of homeless people at? Oh, the states with the highest minimum wage, or the cities with the highest minimum wage. Seattle, San Francisco, and Portland. It's like, oh, they have $15 hour minimum wage. Okay, well, you got 10,000 people living on the street then. Because they ain't smart enough to do anything worth paying $15 an hour to. And the jobs that they were able to do, like bag groceries or pump gas or work at a video store, well, all those got automated or replaced by vending machines or self-checkouts or self-pumps or whatever. So, because they weren't worth paying that higher wage to, unfortunate. Well, maybe if they made better life choices, maybe if they joined the military or went to college or paid attention in class growing up and learned stuff and stayed off the dope, then maybe they would be worth a higher wage and have a job now instead of being homeless. But at the same time, do away with the minimum wage and let companies offer them a lower wage just to get them some work experience, and then maybe they can prove themselves reliable and learn some new skills to where they can then go apply for a higher paid job somewhere else, or maybe get a higher paid job at that company. Let them be like lower paid interns or something, and like construction trade companies or concrete or brick or roofing or whatever, and those do away with minimum wage, and then that way, well, they can make $5 an hour, and then maybe they prove themselves and prove they're worth more, and then the company will pay them more to keep them. Otherwise, they can be like, oh, I got all these roofing skills now or concrete skills now. I can go play at your competition for $15 an hour, $20 an hour. So after the company trains them and that at the lower pay, then the company will probably pay them higher pay to keep them if they're showing up every day. It's like Joe Smith here looked at some ads online, what other companies are offering or asking for requirements and whatnot, and it's like everyone wants anywhere from 3 to 10 years of experience or a bachelor's degree. Looking for someone to be a night manager of our Domino's, we need 3 years of restaurant experience and bachelor's degree. Starting pay $15 an hour. So higher minimum wage is just causing companies to be more selective on who they hire, and they're requiring higher level of education and experience now. So, and meanwhile, everyone else that don't have that experience or education are getting priced out of the market and losing their homes and can't get hired anywhere because nobody's willing to pay them that much. Companies are willing to pay them $10 an hour or $8 an hour. The government says that you can't, so like, okay, fine, let them be homeless. And that's what's happening. These cities, I bet every dollar an hour they raise the minimum wage, they're going to increase the homeless population by 10%. Oh, if Joe Smith were president, Joe Smith would do away with the minimum wage and have mandatory work programs for the homeless people so they can make something and earn something, and whether it's an apprenticeship type thing where they get $5 an hour or something and learn a skill, and after they graduate the program or get skilled enough and prove themselves, then they can get a raise at that company or go apply for a competitor if they don't want to give them a raise. There's plenty of other companies out there looking for skilled people, or have them work on a city crew. If city tax dollars are going to go to feed them, they might as well have them do some work for the city, have them clean up litter and improve the park trails or whatever, or build some new picnic tables for the parks if they need some replaced that are falling apart, and have them do some cleaning in city offices or something or other. Maybe have it where the city has like an apartment complex or something, and then the ones that do these jobs for the city get free rent, free utilities in that apartment complex. That's part of their pay for working for the city, and then after they kind of get back on their feet, they can go apply for jobs elsewhere with their new experience and references and skills, and move out of the city apartment or something or that other, get a job somewhere else that pays more and get their own home, but have some sort of program to kind of get people off the street and learn them some new skills and put them to work, even if it's work they don't want to do, even if they have to go cut grass for the city or something. Teach them that when you're homeless, there's no job that's too degrading to do, or that's the thing. Everyone's like, well, I'd rather lose my house and car and put my family on the street than cut grass for a living. It's like, why? What's wrong with it? Why is it so degrading? Why? It takes more skill than you think to make it look nice. Joe Smith learned that over the years working here. Be surprised how many people struggle and can't figure out how to mow a freaking yard. That's just some of Joe Smith's other thoughts on if Joe Smith were president, changes he'd make. Thanks for listening. Joe Smith signing out.